This episode of the Local Hustlers podcast is brought to you by Flamingo Pools, your go-to maintenance and repair company in the East Valley. Stop wasting your valuable time trying to take care of your pool and let the professionals at Flamingo Pools take care of it for you. Visit azflamingopools.com for a free quote today.
You're listening to the Local Hustlers Podcast, East Valley Locals. Get connected with small businesses near you and dive deep into their stories, mindset, and motives. Entrepreneurs everywhere. Get ready to be inspired by business owners, entrepreneurs, and hustlers that you can relate to and learn from. And now, your hosts, Dallin Huso and Ridge Waldberg.
Cool. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Local Hustlers Podcast. Today, we're here with Freddy Bryant. He doesn't care what he goes by. He'll take both. Fred, good to have you here today.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm honored to be here, honestly. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, anytime, man. We appreciate having someone we know on the podcast, so this should be fun. Take a couple of minutes and just let us get to know you a bit. Tell us a bit about your background, kind of who you are.
Yeah, man. So, like you said, my name's Fred Bryant, or Freddy. Born in California. Been in Gilbert most of my life, though. 24 years young, right? Still got a lot of time to do stuff and accomplish things. Married, in school, studying business, working as a manager at a company, and then detailing cars on my side as my hustle.
So you have a ton of free time on your hands then, right?
Exactly.
Shoot. So you go to school, you have a job, and you run Shine Mobile Detail, which is kind of what we're going to talk about today. Before we kind of get into the company, tell us a bit about, why you're going to school, why you have this other job, what you do.
Yeah.
In those regards.
Definitely. So, growing up, none of my family really went to school. So, that's definitely something I just want to do, to be a first generation, get a degree. I know I don't want to really necessarily go into the corporate world, so it's kind of just a backup plan and then just a personal goal that I have for myself. So that's the main reason why I'm in school. And I'm also going for free, so you can't beat that. So I wouldn't take out loans for it. Don't recommend it, but I'm going for free, so I'm definitely going to do it.
Nice.
And then what was the other question?
Your job. You said you're a manager somewhere?
Yeah, so I'm a manager at this company called Barnes Family Services, which hopefully is what I'd like to project my long-term career into. Mm-hmm. So what we do is we offer services to individuals with special needs, and we get paid through the state to do it. And so it's a great business model, and it's pretty easy. And basically the state pays us a higher rate, and then we pay our providers a lower rate and keep the difference for every hour worked. And so we do the math on that and the profit margins. It's pretty good money.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So you go to school, you have a job, sounds like you're pretty successful there and you enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah, I love it.
What made you decide to start a business then?
Yeah, so I kind of it took me a while to figure out what I wanted to do. So before, I had no idea if I wanted to be a nurse, which I can never see myself being a nurse now.
Hey man, that's what I'm doing.
Be careful.
My bad.
I'm just kidding.
Are you being a nurse?
That's the goal.
Okay, that's cool. No. It's a sick job and you're making money, but it wasn't for me.
Right. No. Yeah. I'm just giving.
Don't worry, I'm trying to talk him out of it.
Get into business, man. No, so I thought I wanted to be a nurse. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I went to community college and took a bunch of random credits. So I'm still not even done with school, even though I'm 24, because I kind of messed around. You say you're taking one semester off and you take like 4. So I just had no direction, didn't know what I'd do, but I knew I wanted to be independent. So I was thinking about like doing home health or opening my own practice or something like that. But then I really just started to listen to Dave Ramsey a lot, and I like money. Once again, going up to my background, family never really had. We weren't poor by no means, but they never really had a lot of money, and they were tied down by debt and expenses, and so that's something I always knew that I didn't want in my life, and so I started to get interested in money and personal finance, financial literacy, and that kind of drifted me towards business, and then that's when I thought about starting Shine, and so I opened it up. Just some sweat equity. Use my own money for a lot of the startup costs. Pretty minimum though. Yeah. And then I went in with a friend, and then it ended up just turning out to be just me. And so now I'm running the whole thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
What made you guys want to do mobile detailing?
Yeah, so my friend was doing it up in Utah, working for some dude.
Okay.
And then I was living with some roommates, and I had this guy that did it, and I was thinking like, I could do that, and it sounds like easy job and good money. So I asked the guy, and he ignored me because I was trying to learn from other people that were in it.
Yeah.
And he just rejected me. So then I asked my friend about it and told him we should go in together, and then we just did it.
And did you start it up in Utah, or that's kind of where?
So we started it here. So I was the main one that started everything, and then he kind of helped me we came up with a business model together, and then I kind of put it into effect.
Nice. So did things just kind of not work out with having a business partner? Was you know, falling out there, or what kind of?
Yeah, so no falling out. He's my best friend.
All right.
He's like my brother, so we're cool. But he was just in Utah, living that college Provo life, and I was here, and he wasn't really doing anything, and I was doing most of the work, especially the dirty work. And then eventually we just decided like I'll just do it, and
just cut ties. And no hard feelings.
He's focusing on something else. So
cool. So I'm assuming. I mean, I see there's so many like mobile detailing companies out there. What do you do to kind of stand out from the crowd?
Yeah, there's a ton, and there's also a ton called Shine. So
oh really?
Yeah, it's super saturated, and it's pretty hard, especially with some of them, because a lot of them do stuff I don't do. So I don't wax, I don't buff, I don't clay bar. And that's just a personal preference. I just don't want to.
So what do you do then?
So I just do a power wash on the exterior, and then I get the interior down to the T. Very meticulous, everything. Yeah, and I found that my market, at least, that's everyone loves the interior more than the exterior. But what I try to do differently is my presentation, my relationship with the customer, and then also my price points. I'm like in the middle, but there's a lot. Especially the ones that have been around longer that charge a little more. So I think that's where I kind of get that happy medium, and that's what helps me.
That's cool. So why don't you do like the waxing, the buffing, that stuff? For
me, it's going to be extra time, which is fine because then I can charge more, so it's extra money, which I love. But I honestly just don't feel like doing it. I just don't. Yeah.
Well, I think sometimes if you just stick to like one or two things and just get really good at that and kind of specialize in that, you can kind of get really good and find your niche, find your industry, and
100%,
and really be successful with that.
I agree.
Was that like always the goal? Like, this is what I want to do. No matter how big we get, we're only gonna do kind of the inside part of it, or? Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, that's always been the plan. I'm gonna stick to it. Yeah, we're just gonna do the inside and simple outside. I've even had people ask me to do their motorhomes.
Oh, wow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that'd be a ton of money, but then I'd have to find a bunch of guys to help me and charge per square foot, and get extra stuff, and so
there's just more that goes into it.
Yeah, definitely.
What do you do to kind of, I guess, market or put yourself out there, help people kind of know who you are, who your business is?
Yeah, Facebook and Instagram is how I get most of my customers. Ads, and then just posting, so not even spending any money.
Yeah.
I'm always on Instagram and Facebook, especially Facebook. I try to be the first to comment my company, and I message the person directly, which helps a ton. I don't think a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
And then word of mouth. Trying to get into like mechanic shops and put my cards, put them in other businesses. Trying to collaborate with my friend's dad's business. He does auto glass. And so we're trying to do a referral thing. So for every person that gets their windshield replaced and they get a detail, I'll give them a kickback, and vice versa. And then I'm using a CRM, so customer relationship management. I'm using that software to send renewals and subscriptions to my customers, remind them about a detail or tell them about discounts and things like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit more about CRM for those that don't know, like what that is exactly, like what it is, what it's done for you, how it's benefited your business?
Yeah, I don't know much about it, and I'm new to it, but it stands for customer relationship management, and I just use this one called Method. It comes with QuickBooks, which is what I use to track my books and stuff. And basically, you can enter your customer's name, telephone number, email, and their physical address to their information into a database, and then it saves it for you, and then you can personalize each customer based on their location, their demographic. Maybe these are recurring, or these are higher paying and consistent. And then you can also send out text, emails, and even invoices, collect payments and receipts and all that through it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's cool. What was kind of like your goal at the start of, like, how do you want to like grow? Like, was it just like a small idea, like, oh, I'll just clean people's cars for fun and kind of see where it goes, or did you want to take off and eventually have employees or people doing it for you?
Yeah.
What was kind of your long-term goal?
So at first I was, naive, and I didn't know much about business, and I still don't, still learning. But whenever I got money, I would just spend it, right? I just wanted to make money, and I was like, I got $400 extra bucks now, sweet, I can go buy some new Vans.
Yeah.
But then as I started to take more serious, it went from just, making money just so I can spend to putting it back into the business to growing long term and hopefully getting someone else to do this so I don't have to. So it's not as taxing on me. So yeah, that's how it shifted. Now my goal is definitely long term. I want some other kid or person to go work out in the field and I just manage it.
That's cool.
Nice. How far down the road are you kind of getting close to where you're ready to hire someone, or are you still just working it yourself for now?
So I could right now. I would make a lot less.
Yeah.
And so I'm not going to do it until the point where like I won't lose income by hiring someone. I don't think any business should, because it's just not smart. So definitely got a year or two probably, I would say. Yeah.
Do you ever feel like you lose out on jobs maybe because you're working or going to school or have other things and you can't send anyone else to do the work?
Definitely, yeah. And you just gotta be okay with it yourself to take those losses, right? Sometimes I have class, or I can only do it on the weekend or at a certain time. It doesn't match up, and I lose that customer. But it just comes with the industry or the business, and you gotta take your losses and hold your head up. So.
For sure. Do you ever burn out doing like 3 different things basically? Do you have time to do anything else? Do you have hobbies or?
Yeah, man, I love sports. I box now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just for fun. Yeah, and I spar and I train. I'm not professional or anything like that, or even amateur. But I just do it for fun. I love basketball and football. Obviously, spend time with my wife, reading, gym. But yeah, it definitely gets hectic. And sometimes I don't have time to do all the stuff I want to do, or sometimes I fall behind on stuff with Shine. Yeah. And so it all comes down to time management, and you got to really be responsible. Yeah. What's
your advice for managing your time?
Just be conscientious about it. Either get a planner and write it, everyone has an iPhone. Yeah. So write in your phone, set reminders. And then the way I like to think about it is like, I always just conscientious is what I would say. I always think like, I'm sitting down watching TV. Is this bringing me closer to my goals for Shine? Is this bringing me closer to my goals for this and that? If it's not, then I need to stop watching TV and go do this. So just really be conscientious about it.
Nice. What do you do to stay motivated when, like you said, things get hectic or you don't even have time to do anything else?
Yeah. Just remind myself. But for me, it's kind of easier to stay motivated because I just love the process. Yeah. I love grinding, and I know that the results will come, and I know that long term it's going to get better. So just realizing that, thinking about that helps me stay motivated. My wife, and then when I do put in the work and I see the reward, that restarts me again.
That's sweet. What's been like one of your biggest regrets with the business and starting it all? Like, what do you wish you would have done better?
This whole year. So I just got QuickBooks like a few months ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So this whole year I wish I would have been. I was tracking it just in Excel. But I wasn't. I have my strengths and weaknesses, and I wasn't the best at keeping up with it.
Yeah.
So I wish I would have kept all my receipts, tracked my expenses and income and revenue and expenses on products, and tracked all that for tax season.
Yeah. That can get you.
That's one of my biggest regrets by far.
Yeah, and things like QuickBooks or other programs, like it costs you a bit of money, so sometimes you're like, I don't want to waste money on that. But the time that you have to spend otherwise doing it is like you could make up that money so
exactly.
quick.
And it makes it so easy.
Yeah.
That's my regret.
What's one thing that you're glad you did that's kind of helped you get to where you are today?
I'm glad I got QuickBooks. Definitely, for sure. And I'm glad that I just started to put money back into the business instead of using it on myself, because now I'm getting Nike shirts and hats.
Nice,
I'm getting
looking fresh.
The retractable banner, getting more equipment, getting stuff like that. So
cool. So I love some of your marketing tactics that you use. Like you said, you have this retractable banner that you set up when you're out cleaning cars. Kind of shows people that you're not just a neighbor cleaning the car. It's an actual business. Something I've also seen that you do is you do video of you cleaning cars or customer reviews. Yeah. Tell us where you got the idea to do video or how that's kind of benefited you in the business.
Yeah, man. Honestly, looking at some of my competition, won't name them because we only talk about Shine Mobile Detail.
That's right.
Looking at my competition and what they're doing and seeing what's working for them, and then just thinking outside the box. For example, Dutch Bros, right? They use the stamp cards. Yeah. And so that's something I thought about, and now I have stamp cards.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, so you get 3 details, get your 4th one free, just the interior. But that's cool. Yeah. So just thinking outside the box and looking at my competition. Yeah.
Nice. Do you like punch holes in the cars, or you stamp it, or how do you?
I have a stamper, and the stamp says Shine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So they can't replicate that.
Yeah, no, you can't. Can they just make their own? No. Where do you get something like that?
I go to this printing agency called Alpha Graphics. They take care of me.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's your best way to kind of focus in and get yourself back on track with your goals and stuff like that? Like if you ever find yourself kind of like just falling away, like losing track of your work and just like not as much motivation, like what do you do to kind of get yourself back on track and refocused on the company?
Yeah, I try to remind myself of why I'm doing it. I try to think long term, and also I just get on QuickBooks and look at my numbers, and I realize, dang, I can do a lot more. I should be doing more, especially because with me, I've only been in business for like a year and a half maybe, and so I'm still in the baby stages, still growing. So business isn't steady, right? So it's inconsistent. So sometimes I don't have business, and so. Yeah. When I don't have business, that's when it really reminds me, like, dang, I gotta go hustle. Yeah.
Are there a lot of ups and downs then? Like when you don't have business, do you ever get down on yourself or think you're not doing a good job?
No, not really. I try to stay positive. Definitely, I get down. Obviously, I'm like, dang, like I want business. As a business owner, you want to maximize profits, so I want that. But I try to stay positive and then just think about, even though I don't have a car, I can do. Then I can focus on marketing, or I can focus on getting my books together, or this and that.
Yeah.
Do you spend more time cleaning your pool than you spend swimming in it? Then call Flamingo Pools today. Flamingo Pools is your go-to swimming pool maintenance and repair company in the East Valley. Whether it's weekly maintenance, repairs, green to cleans, or one-time cleanings, Flamingo Pools will take care of you. Honest, reliable, and innovative. Just a few of the many good things Flamingo Pools customers have to say about them. Ask them about their mineral treatment, which will keep your chemical levels down, allowing you to have a healthier bathing experience. At Flamingo Pools, they know that your pool was made to be enjoyed, so let them handle the rest. Check them out at azflamingopools.com or give them a call at 480-422-6013. Mention this podcast and you'll get your first month of maintenance completely free. That's azflamingopools.com and 480-422-6013.
Are you pretty much all self-taught when it comes to all these different aspects of bookkeeping, marketing, just starting out the business in general? Did you have a mentor to kind of help you along the way, show you these things, or did you just learn it all yourself?
So a little bit of both. I definitely have some role models in my life that I look up to in the business world and that I reached out to for questions and for help and guidance. And then just reading and looking up stuff on my own. Yeah. And then also school has helped a little bit, right? My accounting classes have. Right. But other than that, you can learn everything yourself.
Yeah. Can you tell us either who you've looked up to or kind of how you found mentors or role models to ask questions to when you weren't sure what to do?
Yeah. It's always just been people close to me, family, friends in my community that I grew up knowing. Can I say his name? I don't know if I can say his name.
Go ahead.
Yeah, his name's Don Patterson. He was my old bishop. He was a great mentor for me, multi-millionaire, super successful, and also just a spiritual giant and just a man's man. So he's someone that I looked up to and reached out to. Yeah. And he helps me a lot. And then I got this other guy that helps me because I also invest because I'm trying to be financial sound.
Nice.
So
I like it.
he helps me out a lot. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I think lots of times we're scared to ask these super successful people for advice because we think they're too busy, or we're like, they look at us like, who are you? I don't
like
have
we're just
time for you.
peewees
Yeah,
or something.
yeah. But I think most of those people that have those information, like they want to share it with us. They want
Definitely.
to tell people. They've spent so much time learning it themselves. Like they want to help other people.
Give it back.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you've been able to find that. People have been pretty open and receptive to giving you advice and stuff.
Definitely. That guy Don, when I met with him, he told me once, I'll never forget, he said the 3 things you got to learn is to learn, earn, and return. And so he's definitely returning and helping back and giving to me by giving me some of his knowledge. And I'm going to try to do those 3 things as I journey through this life.
We're still in the learning stage, right?
Oh,
Definitely. Always.
Not where we need to be yet. So, what, in your opinion, makes someone like that successful? Like, besides the money and, maybe like all he's done business wise, what else makes him a successful person besides that?
I think it comes down to your character, your personality, right? If you're someone that's disciplined and you're hardworking, and you're going to be successful. Mm-hmm. And success can take many different forms. You can make $50K a year and be successful, obviously, or you can make $800 million. That's a lot. But you can make $100 million a year and still be successful. But it comes down to your character and your discipline and your hard work and your attributes. Yeah. Those things define you, and as you do consistency, you're going to seek success in whatever you're doing.
What's your end goal for success then?
My end goal for success is to be, obviously I want to be wealthy. I don't want to be rich. I want to be wealthy. There's a difference.
Nice.
Tell people what the difference is, in your opinion.
In my simple knowledge, wealth is long term. Wealth is your money working for you. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. And then rich is just short term.
Yeah.
Rich is not diversifying your portfolio. Rich is having your eggs in one basket, only doing simple things, or getting complacent. Mm-hmm. I've seen a lot of people that make $200K a year, and they have a nice boat and ATVs and quads and all that, and then you got the wealthy guy over here who invests, who has multiple businesses, who has real estate. So that's the difference. Nice. Obviously, so I want to be wealthy for sure, and that's just not for greed. I do love money, but not for greed. Right. But because I want to take care of my family. Right. I want to provide for my family, and I also want to have the freedom to be able to do as I want, financially, and even just with my family. I don't want to have my job have me tied down. Yeah. And then ultimately just to provide for my family and give my future kids the things that I never had.
Okay, money I think is a touchy subject for a lot of people. Have you always had that mindset, like I want money, I want to be rich, or I want to be wealthy? Yeah,
I've always had that mindset, but I never really knew what it took. And so now that I kind of know what you need to do and what it takes and the things you need to do, the actions, the steps you need to take, it kind of, now I'm kind of more fired up and shifted towards it.
Was that something that like your parents taught you or you grew up around? Because I know for me personally, it was like you don't really talk about money that much. It's like, oh, you don't need to be rich as long as you can, pay the bills for your family. There's no point of, it's all the rich people are bad or they're dishonest and all this. There's just a lot of things about money that people like don't like to talk about or have misconceptions about.
That's kind of how I grew up too.
Yeah, but I love the mindset now of I want to be wealthy, I want to be rich. I don't think there's any shame in saying
definitely
there's so many good things that you can do with money.
Yeah. So for me, my background's a little different growing up, my upbringing. So I was adopted, and so my normal family, both of them were just middle class families, never really rich or anything like that, but tied down by debt. And so I never really saw like what it was to like have money or even to be, financially sound. Yeah. So money wasn't really talked about like that. So I definitely learned on my own and had that desire for myself. Because, seeing that made me realize I don't want that.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. That's kind of how it was for myself, too. Like, I know that there were, it was like down. It was like, if you're rich, like, money can be evil. It's like, no, money can be great. Like, money can do a lot of great things.
Definitely.
And I'm the same way. I want to do good. Like, I have plans to do good, not just have a ton of money for myself. Like, that'll be nice to be able to do the things I want, and I don't know, but I want to help other people too. So I think it's a good mindset to be able to get to want that for yourself. So.
I agree.
And I would say that money might not necessarily be like the root of happiness, but it definitely can provide a lot of things that make you happy, right?
It increases your happiness.
Yeah.
A lot. If someone gives me $100 million, my happiness is so,
you're happy if you can pay the bills. You're happy if you can provide for your family.
Yeah.
Go on the vacations you want to do. Get that $100 million, like you said. So.
Yeah, I don't believe when people say money doesn't bring you happiness. I don't believe that.
Yeah.
And when
your
people
life
say
would be a lot happier too.
Exactly. And when people say more money, more problems, I don't agree with that either. My problems are going down if I have more money.
So I guess everything you're doing is just kind of putting you on that path to create that wealth you're doing with school, this job, and your business. I guess what would you say your goal is for? Do you ever want to retire, or do you plan on kind of working the rest of your life?
Yeah, I actually had this talk with my wife the other day. I used to say I wanted to retire early and have enough money to retire early, but now I want to work till I'm dead. I like working. Obviously, I'll be like on the management side and owning the company and not as active, but I want to work as much as I can because my company hopefully will pay me more than my retirement.
How does your wife feel about that statement?
She's fine with it. Yeah, as long as I come home and see her and do what I'm supposed to do.
Right. So you'd rather be more of like a supervisor, investor kind of work more later in life rather than out in the trenches, out still shining up the cars.
Definitely, yeah. And I don't plan on having Shine Mobile Detail forever. I plan on doing something with the field that I'm in now, managing, and that's more long term and more suitable. Yeah. Would
you like to grow Shine one day so you could sell it?
Yeah, definitely. That's the plan for sure. Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's the most important thing you've learned from starting up a business?
The most important thing I would say is starting up a business is just like how you live your life, right? If you got someone that can't manage their own money, there's no way they can manage a business.
Yeah.
And so the rule with business, you just keep it simple. You want to maximize your profits, but also limit your expenses. And so I try to apply financial principles from personal financial literacy into my business. So I think any business should have, you should save 15% of your revenue or net income for a rainy day or whatever, you should allocate money towards marketing. You should allocate money towards this and that.
Yeah.
And then you should practice the same principles with your personal life. Obviously spend less than what you make. Don't have debt. I don't think you should have too much debt in a business. A lot of people are afraid to use sweat equity and just work, and so they'll go out and get a credit line, and then you increase your liabilities, and then your business fails. So I just try to compare those two, life and your business, and run them the same way based on those principles.
That's cool. What would you say for you and Shine Mobile Detail? What is a non-negotiable? Like, what's something that you won't change?
Yeah. I won't wax buffer clay bar, probably. Yeah. I just do not want to.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people ask me, like, I've had negotiations with business owners that want their cars done, and these are like high-end people. All their employees have Porsche, Tesla, BMW, and they want me to come do their employees' cars in one day, and I'm like, that's fine, I can knock it out. But they're like, okay, but we want it at this price.
Right.
Yeah, and so I won't do anything where I'm not making money. And I think any business owner should understand that. And yeah, I'm just detailing your car, but it takes me 2 to 3 hours, and I spend X amount in expenses and product, and then hiring another person. So that's something that's not negotiable. It's like my price point. Like, I still have to make money at the end of the day.
Right. And they don't really know. Like, they're just like, they don't really know what goes into it. They don't know that. They might be like, well, that's a bit overpriced just to clean my car. It's like, well, yeah, but I'm putting like my sweat into this.
Yeah. It's not a non-profit, right?
Yeah, definitely. I'm here to make profit.
Yeah.
You've talked about like these high-end cars. What's like the nicest car you've ever detailed before?
Nicest car? I actually haven't done that nice of a car, unfortunately. But I've done a lot of BMWs and Mercedes. Yeah, I haven't done like a G-Wagon or something like that. I want to, but my market's kind of the middle class.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Is it fun getting the nicer cars?
Definitely. It looks better for the Instagram.
Right,
yeah. So
You ever get some just nasty cars?
Oh yeah, especially the mom cars. Those are pretty gross.
I'm picturing my family Suburban growing up. Whoever had to clean that thing out was usually me, but
I just had to clean up puke.
Oh no.
Yeah, out of a mom car like 2 weeks ago. So you see it all.
Man, what's like the crappiest? Like, did somebody get a hold of you and say like they have like a what did you have?
Suzuki Rodeo.
1996. I've seen that thing.
1990.
Made before I was born.
Dang. Someone called me and like, yo, can you clean my car? And it was really weird because I met like their little brother at his apartment, but it wasn't his car.
Yeah.
And we ended up driving to their house so we could use the electrical outlet. And it ended up being the guy was like a painter. And so his car was just full of paint. That was like in the seats and in the carpets and on the plastics.
And you're like, bro,
there's not much I can do. And I found a little bong in there too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You took that with you, right?
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. And so that was probably the worst one.
Yeah.
And a bad experience too. He wasn't happy that I couldn't get the paint out.
Yeah.
Sure. I don't know what he expected. But.
How do you handle? Like, what is your way of handling customers that have like, if they give you a bad review? I mean,
or complain.
I think even the best companies, still get complaints and bad reviews
all the time.
What's your way of handling that?
It's a good question. At first, I was scared. I was like, crap, I don't want them to say something bad, or I don't want to lose this customer, or get a bad rep. And so, like, I was naive, still learning, so I would, like, refund them their money after doing the whole detail. Yeah, never doing that. I don't do that anymore. Yeah. I don't do that anymore. So now I just try to talk to them calmly, talk to them nice, talk to them professionally. Maybe offer them a little discount or tell them, like, I can come back and do it again. I'm more than happy to.
Okay.
But yeah, and then if they throw up a comment, I was taught, just leave it. You can comment something nice back, but just leave it because it looks weird if you delete it or trying to hide it.
Yeah. When you get bad reviews, sometimes you want to like respond nasty. You ever? Get those times you want to?
Yeah, I had this one guy he was really weird and like tried to rip us off, and he called me and was talking to me on the phone, not in a good way. I was starting to talk unprofessionally, and so. Yeah, you definitely got to catch yourself because your initial reaction is you want to bark back, but
it's that fight or flight kicks in.
You're
I'll tell you what I think.
Yeah, I'll show you what's up.
Yeah.
No,
I think the best way to avoid that, and I'm not saying you didn't do this, but just being upfront with what your service is.
Yeah.
So people will be unhappy no matter what sometimes, but if you're upfront about what you're gonna do and you do that, you do your best to do that, there's no need to refund them or anything like that. So
yeah, definitely, I learned that the hard way, but yeah. I agree.
Is there times where you ever like get into a situation and you look at the car and you're like, all right, I'm not going to be able to clean this up. Like your kid drew Sharpie all over this place. Like, do you kind of set an expectation before you clean the car? Like, hey, there's some issues here. I can't take care of that. So I'm going to do my best to do what I can, but.
Yeah, definitely. It's something I had to learn to start doing. And so now I always walk through the car with the customer before I detail it and tell them, like, this is how it looks now. I'm going to take before and afters, and you'll see the difference. But I can't guarantee that these stains will come out. And most of the time, they're usually fine.
That's cool.
That is cool.
Okay. I wanted to jump back really quick. I know we talked about marketing a bit earlier. We talked about some of the organic things you do. I think you mentioned you've done Facebook ads too. Can you tell us a bit about that, how you've done that, how you kind of learned to target the right audience, if that's been successful or not for you?
Yeah, it's pretty easy to navigate through. You just click on it. You can change the bars, the dollar amount, and then you can specify it, the population, demographic, location. And then it tells you how many people you'll reach based on your search and how much you gave. So that's how I did it. It's pretty simple.
Do you see a big return on the money that you put into those ads?
Yeah, on the Instagram ones, but not Facebook for some
really?
reason. Yeah. Which I thought I would Facebook because more older people.
Yeah.
But I get better results on Instagram.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna hop into something that we just started. You're the first person, so we're gonna see how this goes.
Done a new segment. We actually don't have a name for it yet.
Let's come up with one.
Let us know if you have any ideas.
Give us some ideas at the
If
end.
you have an idea, we'll take it.
Yeah.
So you have 60 seconds. It's kind of a rapid fire. We have a couple questions. Some of them are business related, some aren't.
Okay.
So you have 60 seconds to see how many of these questions you can answer.
Oof, shoot. Okay.
All right, you
Let's
ready
do
for it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna start it off, and we're just gonna go boom, 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 and we are gonna wait for the timer.
And 3, 2, 1.
Favorite junk food?
Ooh, ice cream.
If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Have you seen the movie Jumper? Teleport. I'd want to teleport.
Oh,
yeah.
nice. Music you turn on when nobody is around.
Ooh, probably some Mariah Carey, honestly.
I like it.
If you're stuck on an island, what's one thing you would bring?
My wife.
Nice.
We'll do that.
Nice. All right. Guilty pleasure.
Definitely. Oh, I thought you were bring my wife.
No.
That's the next question.
Guilty pleasure?
Sorry.
My wife.
Favorite quote?
Favorite quote? Nelson Mandela. No one is taught to hate. No one is born growing up hating. They're taught to hate. If they're taught to hate, they can be taught to love.
Nice.
Ooh, I like that. If you could have dinner with anyone in time, who would it be?
Kendall Jenner.
What's your spirit animal?
Tiger. White tiger.
And
Dang,
time.
that was slow.
You got a total
Wow.
of 8 questions.
8 out of 60. Gosh dang.
Well, the good news is, since you're the first person to do it, you are currently in the lead. So
Let's go.
You hold the crown for
Let's go.
our unnamed competition.
Make sure you put that up there.
Someone can beat you. So you hold the top spot for
That's
now.
dope.
Congrats.
That was fun.
All right. So, any names for us?
Any names?
Yeah. What should the game be called?
That's a good question. Rapid fire's too generic.
Yeah.
Too
It's
basic.
already been trademarked.
Yeah. TM. 60 seconds in heaven.
60 seconds in heaven.
60 questions in heaven. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
We'll think
chew
on
on
that.
that for a bit and get back
Hey,
to
if
you.
you don't, I will.
Okay. Can you repeat that quote for us that you said? Because I really like that.
Yeah. It's by Nelson Mandela. He said, "No one is born hating. They're taught to hate, and if they're taught to hate, then they can be taught to love."
That's cool. So there's hope in everything.
Oh yeah, and people can be taught if they're willing to be receptive and open-minded. You can be taught, especially with today and how people are so standoffish sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Freddy, whatever you want to call him.
Frederick.
Frederick.
Whatever.
Just yeah, whatever it is. We appreciate you being here.
Thanks for having me.
Is there anything you want to say to your potential customers or customers that you already have before we kind of wrap this up?
Love you guys. Thank you for the support. I always promise to give you my best. You can reach me at 480-529-3843. Hit me up on social media and Instagram at Shine Mobile Detail.
That's it. You heard it. Hit him up.
Nice. All right.
Let's
Well,
go.
thanks again, Fred.
Yeah,
And we'll
thank
catch you guys next time.
Sounds good.